Rumor has it that there is a lack of big-time quarterback talents in this draft class. Not a single franchise guy. Not one. At least, that's what they said. But what if I told you there is one quarterback from this draft class that has true superstar potential? It's not Kenny Pickett. It's not Malik Willis or Desmond Ridder either. Let me introduce you to Matt Corral. Yes, a third rounder, the 94th pick of the draft, is the future of the Carolina Panthers. Scott Fitterer and the Panthers had Corral as their top signal caller in the draft, and so did I. You may be wondering why. Is Matt Corral the perfect prospect? Absolutely not. But Matt Corral has all the tools to be a special NFL quarterback. To me, Matt Corral possesses the most realistic upside of any of the recent draftees, possessing the most translatable elite tools and a skill set that fits perfectly to the modern NFL game. Let's break it down. Break it down! The number one thing most casual football fans fail to understand about quarterback play is where accuracy and power actually come from. Playing QB is all about consistency and reliability. The consistency and reliability of a passer comes from their mechanics. Personally, I'd rather take the guy in the draft that will be money with ball placement than the guy who may understand all the concepts in the world but can't put the ball where he wants it. My philosophy when it comes to quarterbacks in the draft is you can gamble on raw quarterbacks, but you cannot gamble on raw passers. Can the QB in question produce the same torque and delivery every time he passes the football? Is he machine-like? This is what separated Corral from his peers in this draft class. Matt Corral has an extremely compact throwing motion, and he pairs that motion with a Barry Allen-like quick release. Corral puts the ball by his ear like he's throwing a dart with a smooth transfer of weight. He releases like clockwork every single time. This is crucial in the NFL, especially behind subpar offensive lines. It means Corral projects well to the NFL game, where avoiding sacks, hits, and danger plays a crucial role to success. It's no surprise that Matt ended his career with the third highest career completion percentage in the SEC since 1956. Woo! But it's simply not good enough to get rid of the ball quickly, but throw it fast as well. The best QBs can put power behind the ball without sacrificing any time to throw, and Matt does this at an elite level. For such a compact motion, his arm strength is impressive. The quickness and pace at which Corral delivers the football, it's lightning-like. And you see this show up on tape consistently. Tight window throws versus tough competition. Side note, since 2020, Matt Corral led all SEC quarterbacks in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and big-time throws. Not bad for a third rounder. Matt shows a good sense for touch. His accuracy and ball placement is ideal. He shows both the ability to put touch and pepper on the ball and the capacity to throw a catchable football. When he looks to go deep, it's almost like he's shot putting the ball down the field, which could use some refinement, but something that you can clearly see is no shortage of arm strength. His arm is already strong, and it could honestly get stronger if he just loosens up his motion a tad. It would also allow him to put that little extra air under his deep ball to take it to the next level. Speaking of the deep ball, Corral often used play action to set up these bombs and completed them at the second highest rate of all FBS quarterbacks, 48%. Play action is a big part of the modern NFL. and it was a big part of Corral's game at Ole Miss. The Ole Miss offense utilized more play-action passes than any other team in the country last season, 61% of their throws. The high usage of RPOs and play action concerns scouts, but not me. That's where the NFL game is going. And it's not like Matt Corral's skill set doesn't also transfer to a drop-back passing game. You see it. Matt Corral has special pocket passing traits, but he's more than just a stationary passer. He's a playmaker. Stats show a complete skill set for the modern NFL. Corral is also just one of 5 college quarterbacks since 2000 to register a 3,300 plus passing yard campaign while throwing 5 or fewer interceptions and rushing for double-digit touchdowns. If you have never seen him play, you might be surprised by those rushing numbers. He doesn't look like Cam Newton, but Corral has some of the quickest feet you will ever see on a QB. He uses those feet to his advantage, navigating a messy pocket, eluding pressure, and being able to see an open scramble lane, plant his foot, and take off in a hurry. Don't sleep on Corral's open field ability either. He's got a nice little jab step one-on-one. The truth is, the more you watch Corral, the more you get the sense he is a real athlete, not just a one-dimensional passer. How many pocket passers are getting their number called on a designed run versus Alabama and then execute that call? This isn't going to be something you ask him to do regularly in the NFL, but just so you know, he can do it. For a quarterback on the smaller side, Corral does not shy away from contact. You might be surprised to hear that some believe he takes too many hits. Huh? I'm serious, this is a legit knock on the guy entering the big leagues. He takes too many hits, meaning he's too tough, meaning he's too reckless. Some people say reckless, I say toughness. But also, can we slide sometimes? Please slide. Thank you. Corral plays with the tenacity of a much bigger man, and I choose to believe that his toughness on the field comes from toughness off of it. A QB, after all, is more than his traits and his skills. A quarterback is his heart. Off the field, Matt Corral, the person, has dealt with his own demons for sure, including fighting Wayne Gretzky's son in high school. I'm not making this up, by the way. Go look it up. I mean, it sounds like something out of Cobra Kai, but it is real. And let's just say Matt Corral, he strikes first. During his first 2 years on the team, Corral admittedly didn't watch film and didn't put in as much work as his status may have required of him. Corral grew up over time, becoming Ole Miss's most vocal leader in 2021, while playing through injuries to deliver the Rebels their first 10-win regular season. Now, according to Ian Rappaport, this is definitely part of the reason he fell to the 3rd round. Via CBS, the Carolina Panthers, football-wise, thought Matt Corral had the best film, hands down. But this is about a lot more than that. There's a lot of work required here to make sure they are comfortable off the field with the person. He dealt with a multitude of issues, including alcohol and related issues. He admitted publicly to battling depression. He has that unreliable behavior off the field, and he really struggled in some interviews with teams. That said, the talent is enough to make the Carolina Panthers take a shot with Corral. Now, I choose to believe that Matt Corral has grown up, that there is a reason his teammates respond to him the way they do. Matt Corral had this to say about his leadership. In order to be a great quarterback and a successful quarterback, and to have that career that everybody wants, you're not going to be able to do it alone. You need to bring people with you. You need to be that ultimate servant leader to where you got the whole team behind you. I feel like I understand how to make those connections with people and connect with everybody from different types of backgrounds. I just feel like that's very important just because I want to win Super Bowls. I want to win games.
I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's
I believe, and the Panthers believe, Corral has not only grown as a player, but a person. From overconfident recruit to team leader. His off-the-field struggles have become the fuel of his competitive fire that defines his leadership style. As the great Bill Walsh once said, a quarterback must have physical, mental, emotional, and instinctive traits that go well beyond the mere ability to pass a football. Matt Corral can certainly throw the football. We know that. But he's also relatable, courageous, intensely competitive, and an absolute warrior. The experts say there is not a franchise QB in this class.
I disagree.
I believe Corral can be the one to carry Carolina. I believe the Panthers have found their franchise QB in the 3rd round. So while the NFL may be sleeping on Matt Corral, I'm betting on Matt Corral.